The guns had fallen silent at Yorktown in 1781. But the war was not over. Britain still held New York, Charleston, and Savannah. Tens of thousands of British troops remained in America. And without an official peace treaty, independence was just a dream on paper. The American Revolution still needed one final victory, not on the battlefield, but at the negotiating table in Paris. After Yorktown, the mood in London shifted dramatically. The war had dragged on for nearly 8 exhausting years, draining Britain's treasury and breaking public support. Parliament faced growing protests from ordinary citizens who demanded peace. Even King George III, once determined never to surrender, began to see the inevitable. But Britain didn't want to give up everything. The empire still hoped to control trade, protect loyalists, and keep America weak. The stage was set for a tense diplomatic battle. Representing the United States were 3 men with very different personalities: Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and John Jay. Franklin, beloved in France and a master of charm, wore his plain fur hat to remind European courts that he represented a new kind of nation, simple, virtuous, and free. John Adams, fiery and stubborn, demanded that Britain recognize full independence without compromise. John Jay, cautious but sharp, distrusted France's motives and pushed for America to negotiate directly with Britain instead of relying too much on French allies. Together, these unlikely partners faced off against Britain's seasoned diplomats. On September 3, 1783, after months of tense negotiation, the Treaty of Paris was signed. Its terms shocked the world. Britain formally recognized the independence of the United States. America's borders stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mississippi River, far larger than most expected. The U.S. gained valuable fishing rights off Newfoundland. In return, Congress promised to recommend fair treatment for Loyalists and the repayment of pre-war debts. It was a staggering diplomatic triumph. The new United States wasn't just free, it was vast, wealthy, and positioned for growth. But America wasn't the only player. France, Spain, and the Dutch Republic had all fought Britain too. Each got something from the treaty, but none as much as the United States. In fact, Franklin and his team had skillfully outmaneuvered even their French allies, securing terms far better than expected. For Britain, the treaty marked the beginning of the end of its first empire, though a second one in India and elsewhere would soon rise. For America, it was the birth of a nation on the global stage. When news of the treaty reached America, bells rang, cannons fired, and crowds cheered. After years of sacrifice, suffering, and war, the dream of independence was finally real. The Treaty of Paris didn't just end a war. It launched a new nation, one whose story was only just beginning. Want to discover more about the American Revolution? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on Deeper History.